A friend of mine just called me the other day, and some friend of his from church had bought this for his 16-year-old daughter. It won't start. They just bought it. It's brand new. It's got all 13 miles on it. Battery says that it's got 12 volts in it, and I mean it won't do nothing. You turn the key on, the dash doesn't even come on. So we're going to check out and see what's wrong with this thing. Just because the battery says it or voltmeter says it, don't mean it's actually got that. So we're gonna, since the dash doesn't come on, we're gonna check this main fuse and see if what's going on here, if that thing's blown or what. We don't know yet. A little miscommunication there. I didn't know it wouldn't start on text message. It said that it didn't run. Okay, but there wasn't a differentiation between not starting and not running. So I didn't delve into it too much, and I didn't check it when they dropped it off because I wasn't here, or I was here. I was probably asleep. I just came outside and it was sitting here. But we'll see here in a minute if I can get this damn thing open. Fuse looks good. That don't mean it is good, but it looks good. Let's check this here and see if we're getting power on both sides of it. Got just under 12 there and 12 there. We'll see here in a minute if I can find the damn key switch. Got nothing. Okay. Battery's good and tight. Let me see if this brake light switch even works. Can't tell really. Let's see. The brake light switch works. Just no juice to the front end here. Fuel gauge comes on. Alright, well, I'm going to see if I can get this battery up to at least 12.8. Pop it on the charger. Check some other things on here while it's charging. Let it charge for a couple of minutes. Check some connections up in the front there. Up under the cowling on the front. All the connections look good. Fuse is good, but just testing the battery out here. I'm sitting at 13 volts. It's not fully charged yet, but it's at 13 volts. Flip the key on, brake light switch, 12.7, 12.6. Hit the starter button. About 3 volts. I'd say battery's toast. That's a little impromptu load test there. Fully charged, it shouldn't really go under 10 volts, 10 or 11 volts. Fully charged would be 12.8, just sitting there. If you look, the recovery times, it's after just cranking it, it's only at 12.2 and it's still on the charger. Turn the key off. 12.6, 12.7, 12.8. So I guess tomorrow I'll hit the Napa store and pick up a battery for it. And then going to want to check the charging system on it to make sure that it's actually charging. For some reason on these little inexpensive little scooters, the electronics aren't the best in the world. These things just aren't pretty much good all the way around. It's not like a little Honda Spree or a Yamaha Jog or something like that. Those things run forever. These things aren't really made for, well, I don't know what they're made for. They're made because they're inexpensive. Cheap transportation. And some places, I take that back. I had a customer before that had 2 of them, older 2-stroke, made in Taiwan probably instead of PRC. But one of his 2, they were both, cheapo bikes. And one of them had 22,000 miles on it, not kilometers, it had 22,000 miles. And that thing, all we ever did on it was tires and brakes and oil changes. Or tires and brakes, never had to do anything to it because it's a 2-stroke. Just put oil in it and gas and ride the wheels off of it. But tires and brakes, and his other one too, his other one was a 4-stroke. Same idea, it looked pretty much identical to this. And that one probably had just under 20, had like 18, 19,000 on it. And that was the same thing. Keep the valves adjusted. These things valves tighten up fairly easily. So you'd want to do it before about adjust the valves probably around 2,000 or 3,000 miles and then check them every 2,000 or 3,000. And if you keep water out of the gas tank, for whatever reason, water puddles around the gas cap back here, and they leak, and it'll fill up water in the gas tank. I had a guy, Jack, he's dead now, but he had one of these almost identical to this, except his was blue. Now his was silver like this. And no matter how many times I told him, put something over the gas cap, man. Plastic bag, put a tarp over it, something. And every time it'd rain, he'd call me up and say, my bike's running bad. It'll start up, but it don't want to go anywhere. As soon as you go to take off, it shuts off. Sure enough, he'd bring it in. I'd drain water out of the carburetor, drain the gas tank because it's full of water, and charge him for it. And tell him again, Jack, put a tarp over it when it's going to rain, or at least a trash bag or something over the back of the bike to keep water out of the gas tank, but whatever. So it looks like hopefully we just need a battery for this thing. It's charging, it's at 13.7 now, 13.07. So who knows, she might have left the key on and killed the battery and it ain't going to come back, or it might just be a crap battery. They don't put the best batteries in the world in these things. Let me kick this thing and see if it'll start. If it'll start, I can check the charging system right now, know if I need anything else. Yeah, it ain't charging. Not a lick. And I'm going to check it for water in the gas tank too, because it doesn't really want to run much. So maybe we had two things: dead battery from maybe from trying to start it, and water in the gas tank. We'll find out. Let me pop this thing off here to get access to the carb. Oh, it didn't even really want to start there, kicking it. It started, but I had to kick it a lot to get it started. A lot more than it should have. All right, let me pull this access plate off of here.